Coronavirus 2019 is really striking every countries. Greatly affected countries have been forced to lock down their country to stop the spread of the virus. Here are the list of the most affected countries and their number of cases, deaths and preventive measures. Number 12 Philippines. The present number of cases is 187 as 47 new cases arise as of this day. Total deaths across the country have risen to 12. 5 people recovered from it and 170 active cases are still fighting to live. President Duterte announces quarantine of entire Metro Manila, its capital, as the number of cases rise every day. Land as well as domestic air and sea travel to and from the region will be suspended from March 15 to April 14, while mass gatherings have been banned and all travelers are being controlled for checkpoints to ensure safety. Amidst criticisms, the government in the Philippines stood up the fight to control the spread of COVID-19 in their country. Number 11 Poland. The present number of cases is 205 as 28 new cases arise as of this day. Total deaths across the country have risen to 5 and 1 new death case today. No one recovered from it and 200 active cases are still fighting to live. The Prime Minister ordered a new restrictions including the closure of restaurants, pubs, shopping malls, a ban on public gatherings over 50 people and temporary entry ban for foreigners, as well as full border control and 14 days quarantine for Polish citizens coming to Poland from abroad. Number 10 Malaysia. The present number of cases is 673 as 107 new cases arise as of this day. Total deaths across the country is 2 that occurs today. 49 patients have recovered from it and 622 active cases are still fighting to live. Malaysia's leader announced on Monday a drastic 2-week lockdown in the country to slow the spread of the new coronavirus following a sharp spike in the number of cases. Number 9 Switzerland. The present number of cases is 2,354 as 1 new cases arise as of this day. Total deaths across the country is 21 as 2 additional deaths arise today. 4 patients have recovered from it and 2,329 active cases are still fighting to live. The Swiss government on Monday declared an extraordinary situation over the coronavirus, instituting a ban on all private and public events and closing places such as restaurants and bars in a bid to harmonize the situation across the country. Number 8 USA. The present number of cases is 4,743 as 80 new cases arise as of this day. Total deaths across the country is 93 as 7 additional deaths arise today. 74 patients have recovered from it and 4,576 active cases are still fighting to live. Trump ordered a lockdown 15 days to stop the spread, and old must stay home, gatherings over 10 people end, and schools, offices, bars and restaurants close to beat coronavirus. Number 7 France. The present number of cases is 6,633 and no new case was reported today. Total deaths across the country have risen to 148 as of yesterday. 12 patients have recovered from it and 6,470 active cases are still fighting to live, and 400 of which is in critical condition. President Macron ordered a lockdown. It was part of a package of restrictions introduced as France battles to contain the spread of the virus, and the message from the president was very simple: to protect yourself and protect the most vulnerable in society, stay at home. All people who will be seen outside will be asked to present a form detailing their reason to travel outside starting tomorrow, March 18. All non-essential businesses are already closed and only supermarkets, tobacco shops, gasoline station and pharmacy are open during the 2 weeks lockdown. Number 6 Germany. The present number of cases is 7,636 as 364 new case was reported today. Total deaths across the country have risen to 20 and 3 new deaths were reported today. 67 patients have recovered from it and 7,549 active cases are still fighting to live, and 2 of which is in critical condition. Germany imposed temporary controls on its borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, Denmark and Luxembourg, and several German states have tightened restrictions on public gatherings. Number 5 South Korea. The present number of cases is 8,320 as 84 new case was reported today. Total deaths across the country have risen to 81 and 6 new deaths were reported today. 1,401 patients have recovered from it and 6,836 active cases are still fighting to live, and 59 of which is in critical condition. South Korea is handling the coronavirus outbreak better than other countries. From drive-through testing to GPS tracking, South Korea has handled its cases in innovative ways. Number 4, Spain. The present number of cases is 11,178 as 1236 new case was reported today. Total deaths across the country have risen to 491 and 149 new deaths were reported today. 530 patients have recovered from it and 10,157 active cases are still fighting to live and 272 of which is in critical condition. Spanish minister warned on Monday, the 16th of March, that the lockdown will last more than 15 days, since this period would not alone be enough for the country to win the battle against the coronavirus. Number 3, Iran. The present number of cases is 16,169 as 1178 new case was reported today. Total deaths across the country have risen to 988 and 135 new deaths were reported today. 5,389 patients have recovered from it and 9,792 active cases are still fighting to live. Iran imposes nationwide lockdown so every citizen can be checked for coronavirus as regime struggles to contain outbreak. Number 2, Italy. The present number of cases is 27,980. No new case was reported today. Total deaths across the country have risen to 2,158 and no new deaths were reported today. 2,749 patients have recovered from it and 23,073 active cases are still fighting to live and 1,851 are in critical conditions. Italy has been put under a dramatic total lockdown, as the coronavirus spreads in the country. Prime Minister announced that he is extending restrictions already in place in the north. All the measure of the red zones are now extended to all of the national territory. Number 1, China. It was believed that the virus started in China and spread all over the world that makes it called pandemic now. The present number of cases is 80,881 and 21 new case was reported today. Total deaths across the country have risen to 3,226 and 13 new deaths were reported today. 68,709 patients have recovered from it and 8,946 active cases are still fighting to live and 3,226 are in critical conditions. On January 23, authorities cut all transport into and out of Wuhan, a central Chinese city of 11 million people where the virus is believed to have originated, and ordered people to stay home unless they needed to buy groceries or seek medical care. Schools, offices and factories were shut down. Private vehicles were banned from city streets. Within days, the lockdown had expanded to cover several other cities comprising 60 million people.